TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
2,000 years long, we will never settle. Hard days, no way, with a heavy metal. No time, no fail, won't stop here. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot. Won't stop, come on, take me higher.
Yourself a merry little Christmas night, and have yourself a merry little Christmas. Up, 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 up.
From the ECSI Sports Studios and the #1 sports investors in America, we bring you the closing bell. As the market closes, legends Jeff Dawson and Riley Magnuson bring you all the sports investing tips for tonight's matchups. If you want to learn more from the two legends at the desk, make sure you stay tuned to the closing bell.
Oh, let's go here. Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the co-host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it is that time of the day, that time of the week for the closing bell, December 20th, 2024. 11 days left until the new year, 2025. Just 4 days till Christmas Eve, 5 days till Christmas. So this is the time to get those last minute deals. I remember growing up as a young little child, waiting till Christmas Eve, getting those great deals. And then I had a good friend that did all the gift wrapping for charity. And I would drop off 10, 15, 20 gifts. They'd come back all nicely wrapped and bow tied and all that beautiful stuff. I'd come back looking like a hero. But times have changed when gift cards, Amazon, and click a link and all that other happy horse shit. So it is what it is. But first and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships. It's right there. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play. Download that app. It is free. Travis Geiger, who we were going to do our Friday show at 1:30, was in a meeting. We will reschedule to next Friday where he will be at the Rose Bowl. So hopefully a live remote from the Rose Bowl with Travis Geiger and WagerWire there. Viva Tequila Seltzer, CT Bets Austin, family second to none. New flavor lemon over the summer. The East Coast was cuckoo for coconut. Go try one. They're great. I promise you there. Jump on over to Facebook, Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. Terry Smith, introduce yourself while you're there. Jump on over to atlantasteaksandseafood.com. Steaks, chops, lobster tails, appetizers, wines to go with the beef. And a promo code, Steaks10 at the checkout window there. Order today and the reindeer will deliver it for sometime next week. So without further ado, live from Chicago, the Bulls plus 14.5 beat the Celtics. Mr. Riley Magnuson. What's up, Jeff?
What is up, my friend? It is a good day to be a sports fan in the Windy City with that 14-point underdog win that you're talking about there. That's is about as big of a win as the city of Chicago's had in quite some time. But I don't know if anyone was watching because I told you I think everyone's sick of this Bulls team, but nonetheless, we'll take it. I think, and we'll see what we can build out of it. The Blackhawks are starting to after a coaching change play a little better. So the White Sox are projected. I think over under I saw was 49.5 wins, the lowest. In the certainly in the modern era or the new public era of sports betting, certainly the lowest anyone's ever seen. So we'll see how things go the next year or so in Chicago, and maybe a year from now we're talking a little nicer about the future of the White Sox. But nonetheless, Christmas right around the corner, my friend. Happy to be here to close out the week and get ourselves ready for some good college football, not only tonight, but maybe tomorrow as well. So I am ready to roll, my friend.
Shout out to Mr. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. Happy Friday, and of course, happy holidays to you and your family. Happy Festivus, if you are a Seinfeld fan, as well as Ohio just kicked a field goal, now up 30-14 in at JSU, Jacksonville State, in the Cure Bowl. I'm looking for something. Camping World Stadium. They change their names more than I change my underwear. Yes, sports. Holiday season. Big weekend in college football. Some NFL on Saturday. Big games Sunday. Playoff. Some playoffs. I guess, win, lose, still in, life support, all that happy horse shit. It is what it is. Last night, I guess a tale of two halves. We saw a free kick for 3 from Dicker the Kicker from 57. I said this a few weeks ago, and I don't think it was heard enough. I'm going to say it again, and there's no disrespect here. Be careful on jumping on this Bo Nix train. He's good. But I am telling you, I saw this last year with a guy named CJ Stroud. And my point is, kind of hit their early ceiling. Now, there's bumps, there's bruises, sophomore slumps, regression. Now, he's with Sean Payton. He'll reel him in. But my point is, if you think Bo Nix is going to take the next step next year, a little quick. This is not John Elway we're talking about here. So again, good first half from the Broncos, and then Harbaugh says, "Hold my beer," and the real quarterback, Mr. Justin Herbert, took over. This Chargers team, are they going to the Super Bowl this year? No, they're not. Are they winning the division? No, they're not. Could they win a playoff game? I think they could. But my point is, Harbaugh has now built a culture.
Right.
In San Diego. Or, I'm
100%.
sorry, in L.A.?
In LA. I know the San Diego fans are wishing it was he was in San Diego with them. But no, as far as Bo Nix is concerned, I think that's fair because you look at what they've done this year, and not taking anything away from them, but they've done everything that they've beaten who they're supposed to beat. I can't remember what they showed last night on the broadcast, but they've and both these, you could say that about both these teams, but obviously you have one team in the Chargers with a veteran quarterback that's still looking for that next kind of legacy type season or end of the year postseason run, whatever, what have you. And in Bo Nix's case, he's played really well against the teams that the Broncos are supposed to beat. And this team hasn't played that great against the good teams, or just hasn't have come up short. Obviously, they should have beaten the Chiefs a handful of weeks ago, but their record against playoff teams or projected playoff teams is not very good. So, you get a schedule next year where you get a little bit of tougher schedule, and we could be talking about him the way we're talking about C.J. Stroud. And again, still year 2 of C.J. Stroud. Nobody's writing off the Texans for the future, but obviously hasn't looked as good as what we saw from him last year. So I think the parallel is perfect that you made there. And you and I mean, we could talk for days. You and I are the leaders of the Justin Herbert bandwagon. I'm a massive, massive Jim Harbaugh believer and fan. And so, they get another, a weapon or develop their weapons a little better. and maybe add another piece here and there, and this team is going to be real dangerous going forward because the thing they spent a ton of money. They had one of the highest payrolls, if not the highest defensive payroll the last few years under Staley. But his lack of identity was what killed him, obviously, and the close game situations is what killed him there. And so now you get a guy who's fantastic in close game situations and as far as culture building, and the sky's the limit for the Chargers. So I am buying my stock for next year, even before we see the offseason moves on the Chargers early, my friend. So you and I are always on the same page with the Herbert and the Harbaugh train, I believe there.
It will be interesting to see. Again, I think most fans, and there'll be a handful of teams and fan bases like, well, go spend 33, go spend 35 million a year on T. Higgins. Guys, call me first. I'll give you my cell phone number. I will tell you exactly what will happen. He will sign the contract. He will look great for the first 3 games. You won't see him till your bye week after that. And then, he'll be game time decisions. And you don't need... I'm telling you guys, do not waste your money on T. Higgins, and the Patriots will be the leader of the band there. Well, we need a number 1 for Drake May, just like Herbert. Herbert's throwing to a bunch of guys. Where are these guys? Both teams are throwing to... Now, I needed a big night from Cortland Sutton. I call him the Count. And I'm following this, and I'm like, who the bleep? I'm looking for Rick Upchurch, which is way before your time. I'm looking and I'm looking at these names here, and it's just, and I'm not doing it justice, okay? I'm really not, because on both sides it was comical. So bear with me for 1 second here, okay? Because I know I'm not crazy. And bear with me here, guys. How come I can't... Oh, there we go. Ready? Last night. Now, I might be getting old, and I'm not losing anything on my fastball here. Broncos, Mims, Sutton. Sutton, 6 targets, 5 catches. Javonte Williams, 11 targets, 7 catches. Franklin, the rookie. Krull, Bell, Burton, Adkins, Watson, Troutman. Okay, so that's on the Denver side. So now let's have some fun on the Chargers side. McConkey, 6 for 6. Joshua Palmer, Haskins, Smart, Davis, Pizza Pan Hands himself, Quentin Johnson, Fisk. That's not Carlton Fisk.
No.
Matlock. And is that the damn detective show that I used to watch, Matlock?
It might be.
Hurst, Gus Edwards. I mean, so guys, I know the big name, the sexy names, the Jamar Chases. They move the needle. C.D. Lambs, Justin Jefferson doing the giggy, whatever they call it. I get that. But you don't need to waste $35 million on T. Higgins. That's my bet.
No, you're right. And he's not in that same he is good, but he's not when he's healthy and playing. He is good, but he's not in that same category. But I'm with you. And I mean, look at what the Bills are doing. The Bills, everyone thinks they're offloading their weapons and they're in a half rebuild where they're still going to be competitive. Not the best team. They're on some books the Super Bowl favorite at this point, and it's whether it's nobodies or a quick makeshift overhaul of their receiving room, you can do it. In that case, I mean, my Packers get rid of Devontae Adams, and in 2 years they've got a cast of crew that's getting them into the playoffs. But you bring up T. Higgins, and before we talk about anything else, doing a little fantasy corner here. In my semifinals for the league the dynasty league that I care about most, I've rode Terry McLaurin because of I've got Terry McLaurin in a trade last year. This is for my flex spot. I've got Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, my 2 wide receiver spots. And my wide receiver, or my flex spot, Terry McLaurin, top 5 fantasy receiver, has rode me, has done me very, very nicely. But he is playing the Eagles, who are by far the stingiest defense to fantasy wide receivers in the league. First game around, I think T. Higgins had 1 catch for 10 yards or something like that. So I got Terry McLaurin, 1 catch, 10 yards. Terry McLaurin against the Eagles, who are stingy against wide receivers, or I've got T. Higgins, who has been on my bench since maybe the entire year, actually, because I also had Chris Godwin the first part of the season, obviously lost him. So I don't know. I think I've played T. Higgins once for some bye weeks. He's been in the doghouse because of and you obviously know. I know I'm not telling you anything new, but do I ditch for the semifinals Terry McLaurin in a bad potential matchup for T. Higgins, who has been playing a lot better and is seemingly as of now active right now. Do I get away from my guy Terry McLaurin for the bad matchup, or do I just ride Terry until the wheels fall off?
Well, you know me and Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry. My one share of him, of course, is with the Jaden Daniels team, so I don't sit him for anything. I get the
Sure.
greatest hookups and sliced bread there. Well,
Okay,
obviously,
so
Chase
I'll throw that
DeBurro
caveat.
is.
I'll throw the caveat. My quarterback is Joe Burrow.
Well, then I'm going to give you my rankings this week. I have T. Higgins ranked 8th at wide receiver, projected for 17.9. And McLaurin, I have ranked 22nd at 15-2. My point is, you have Burrow. I have a Burrow and Chase team. I have a Burrow and Higgins team. As much as I love McLaurin, if you're riding Burrow, you have to play Higgins.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have, for the sake of the conversation, I should have left that part out last, and that was the decider, because it is, he was in the doghouse, and Terry McLaurin, I think number 5 in this point settings wide receiver, but I think that was the way I was trending towards, anyways. But obviously, yeah, with Joe Burrow, then that makes it even more of an easier choice there. But if I get to Sunday and we've got some bad news out of nowhere, then I'll be an upset man there. So nope. And then I need some David Njoku health to come my way, and my opponent's got Alvin Kamara, and I got the backup Kendra Miller stashed on my bench. So as much as I love watching Alvin Kamara, that's obviously one thing I'm hoping for, is for him to take the night off on Monday night and make things a little easier for me.
Well, good news is that I'm just doing a little multitasking here. Joe Burrow and Higgins are a go. I haven't got a full report on Njoku there. A couple games on Saturday. And then, of course, on Sunday and Monday as well. And then they go right into Christmas Day and then the day after Christmas Day. So some teams like the Chiefs are bitching and complaining, 3 games in 11 days. So that makes it real tough there. They must have went for 2, I guess. No, yeah. Unless they missed the extra point. Ohio, Jacksonville State now 30-20. Line opened at 2.5, closed at 6.5. So if you got the early line, you're looking good, and you can even with that, I guess, missed extra point unless they went for 2 and I didn't see it. 30-20, still plenty of time. The over is sitting 7 points away from a push. 8:41 left there. I'm going to go right into it. 4 college games. I promised everyone here I would make this short, sweet, to the point. I don't want, a Friday. It's the weekend. It's a holiday weekend. So we'll get to the games. I'll give you my eyes see on the team totals in the NHL. We'll do some breaking down. I'm going to do this. Let's do it this way. Big Ten this weekend. College football, obviously Ohio State, Ohio State, Tennessee, and we got Indiana, Notre Dame tonight. We got Penn State, so I'm gonna push the board to you with the Big Ten. There you go.
And I'm going to try and not be, these aren't my favorite teams or anything like that, but I'll try and be unbiased in these matchups, because I'm obviously rooting for the Big Ten, so that a week from now you can throw it to me and we have another 4 games or whatever it'll be, 3-4 games that you're pushing to me for the Big Ten. But no, in tonight's case, I'm excited for all these games. I'll just say that. But you get some home playoff action. Get these teams a little rested. Indiana and Notre Dame, I think the first time, obviously it's only been 10 years or so, whatever, the recent playoff format that we get an in-state playoff matchup. So that's really exciting, obviously. I think a lot of people are just penciling Notre Dame in. Notre Dame's obviously been really good. And everyone's kind of writing off Indiana. if it wasn't for some ugly special teams play, Ohio State was a better team in that Indiana game, and probably 9 times out of 10, Ohio State probably wins that game. But I don't think it was as lopsided as what this final score ended up being there. A couple of ugly plays for what was, I think, a 7-7 game for a long point of that game, if not 10-10 or something along those lines. So I think Indiana's got more to prove than Notre Dame does. Notre Dame probably is gonna think that they have a lot to prove, and they obviously do because they want to make a long run. But nobody after that Ohio State game is believing in Indiana anymore. They lose the fun plucky underdog card with the undefeated easy schedule, and now they're still sitting back and trying to ruin Notre Dame's season and go on the road and win this game. So. I'm not saying Indiana wins, but I am kind of leaning towards an Indiana cover in this game and keeping this one close and keeping this a really interesting game out of this one. So I'm curious your thoughts. I know you obviously looking at the team totals. This with the game total 50.5 here, but I like Indiana to hang in this one and at the very least make this a really, really fun game tonight.
Oh no. See now they're playing Jedi mind tricks on me. So I was doing the NCAA insiders today and we're breaking down these games and I'm looking at the market. I'm like, no. And we've already sent out the ECSI VIP alert and anyone new to the game on a real hot real amazing heater. 15-1 our last 16, and then into this week, which we're up 3 units as well. 22-7 overall our last 29 games. And so breaking down this game, it opened at 8 with a 51.5. There's only one way I thought the number could go with the 8. It's down. Currently 6.5 with a minus 115. So next move potentially back to 7. I don't think it will get there. We'll see. 51.5 now down to 50.5 under. Next move is to actually a flat 50 now at Circa. 50.5 across the board, but Circa's hanging the 50. So my point here is I went to the team totals. Notre Dame was 30. It dropped to 29.5, juiced under, minus 150. So if you think Notre Dame can get to 30 or better, they're giving you plus 130. So if you're a Notre Dame fan, that's a beer and pizza play automatically. Hey, if I get to 30 or better, I'm going to get plus 130 on my money. I'm in there. Now, here's the caveat. We use 2 sources here. Indiana team total 21.5 juiced under. So you could get 21.5 over plus 105 with Indiana. Now the thought here, Riley, simply was it wasn't 20, it wasn't 20.5, it was 21.5. So they want the unders to come in because you say, I think they're going to get to 20 or 21. They're not going to score. Well, my other source now just went to 20.5, juiced over 125. So we got both of them here. My point very simply is this, Riley. I think the 21.5 was the number that got me to Indiana team total over 21.5. I think they get to 23 or 24. And by that sharp move from the 30 to a 29, I got this 28, 23, 28, 24. And that would go right back to the original under over of 51.5.
Right.
So my play on this game is the Hoosiers team total over. If you got 20.5, God bless you. We got 21.5 plus 105. I think Indiana gets to 23 or 24.
Yeah. No, and that's kind of what I'm thinking with it, and I think it'll be a really good game. And I was, as you were saying it, I was seeing a few spots that had the 20.5 after the 21.5. So, like you said, the mind games are afoot there with this one tonight. I know because it's obviously it's the main show in town tonight, and obviously a lot of people are excited for it. So, it would be surprising to see Indiana win this game, but it would not surprise me at all. I'll go 28-27. Or maybe 27-24, Notre Dame kicks the field goal in the last minute to win it. I'll say that. 27-24, that's where I'm going with this one.
No, I think the numbers say it. I mean, it's spot on. I think you're spot on there.
Yeah. And moving into tomorrow's SMU Penn State, just let me switching gears there on that one. 8.5 for Penn State, as I'm looking at it now. 53.5 on the game total. Penn State, this is kind of their one chance to obviously, and they're going to have more chances, but one chance to prove that they belong in that upper echelon of the college football world. Because if you lose this game, I mean, I'm not saying they're ditching James, excuse me, I'm not saying they're ditching Franklin, because the grass ain't always greener on the other side, but a loss in this one would be an ugly, ugly black mark after years and years of not being able to get past Ohio State and Michigan. Now you've got a path where you can get into the Final Four, pretty realistically here. SMU and then Boise State, and you got as good a chance as you're ever going to have of getting in the top four if you're Penn State here. So I think that urgency is going to be there. They ended up playing Oregon pretty well a couple weeks ago in the Big Ten title. Obviously, they played Ohio State really, really tough the one game they did. So I think they're just flat out the better team. I think the line is fair in this one. I'll take them to cover, but I'm not over the moon about anything as far as that is concerned. But my gut is telling me they win this one by a couple possessions out of this one, and you're going to get a good effort from SMU. But at the end of the day, I think Penn State is just a better team in this one, and this is a home field advantage that I think is really going to matter. Of all the 4 games this week, I think this is the spot where the home crowd helps the home team the most in any of these games this weekend, my friend.
It's not Ohio State, it's not Michigan, and as you said, James Franklin record versus everyone else is stellar. And you get a 12 o'clock kickoff. You get a team from Texas and SMU, warm weather team, traveling to Happy Valley where it's going to be cold and blustery. I agree where your eyes are here. I think it's a stout Penn State defense. I think they knock them down a few times, just like Clemson did, but they got off the mat against Clemson. I don't think they get off the mat here. I like Penn State to cover here, the 8.5, 8 wherever you buy and shop, and I'd keep an eye on that SMU team total under. I think the defense for Penn State and the running game play a little keep away and ground control. So I am Team Nittany Lion at noon tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask if you didn't go there. Would you prefer the team total over for Penn State more or the team total under for SMU more? And I think you just answered it there. 31.5 for that I'm seeing, at least for Penn State.
Yeah, and you know what? I think they're going to be comfortably in the 20s. It's do they get that fourth quarter touchdown?
Yeah.
Maybe they're sitting at 27. Do they kick the field goal and get to 30, or do they get to 34? What are you seeing for an SMU team total?
I see 20.5.
See, again, there's that bait right there. They want you to take the over 21 or better. I say SMU stays under 20. So I like the under 20 and a hook team total on the SMU side.
I am with you. I'll go to the other game with the Big Ten team, and then we'll circle back to the other game there, Ohio State and Tennessee. And really, I mean, this one, I think the line is fair for the most part here. But you obviously have an Ohio State team that's wounded and was as much in the title conversation as anybody for the majority of this season. And then obviously, I think from a lot of people that are skeptics, think it's a very good team, but just, missing one piece or so here. So I think you're going to see a very, very spirited Ohio State team trying to prove themselves not only tonight, but the rest of the way here. But, and I think I heard this from someone else too, if things go south quickly, and it's an ugly first quarter and a half, this Ohio State crowd could turn on this Ohio State team in this home playoff game tonight. So I do believe in Ohio State that they are going to turn things around. Another team that has had a ton of success, not named against teams not named Michigan and Georgia, whatnot here. So I do like Ohio State to win this game and look good and kind of win some hearts back a little bit here in this one tonight. But I'm staying away from this one because you could see an Ohio State team that doesn't come out firing on all cylinders on offense. And this crowd could be a little anxious and antsy. This is the home crowd that obviously, if things are going well, it's going to be fantastic. But the one crowd that could turn on a home team the most out of these 4 games is right here in Ohio State.
I've been saying this all year. I don't see Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't see Chris Olave. I don't see Terry Glenn. I don't see Zeke Elliott, Justin Fields. The list is endless here.
Right.
Yet this team on both sides of the ball, supposedly on paper, is the best team in the country when you try to put the whole package together.
Right.
They're dangling that hook out for a reason. I mean, I love Tennessee just like everyone else. I think their defense is almost as good as Texas is. Now, Ohio State's stunning loss to Michigan might be the best thing. They got an extra week off to sit in their shit while Penn State played in the Big Ten championship game against Oregon. So, I'm going to go this way. You're either going to see Tennessee come in and win outright,
Yeah.
or you're going to see the real Ohio State stand up and take a bow. And here's the one thing I'm also skeptical of. I haven't heard one person, talk about the over in this game. The whole world's on the under. The whole world's on the under. Like both defenses, both quarterbacks are skeptic with Howard, with Nico. It's going to be a ground and pound, hold the ball, play keep away, play field position. What do you have for an opening under over, and what do you have now for the under over?
Right now, I'll give you first, I believe, is 46.5 or maybe a flat 46. I saw some. I don't know if it was the opening number. What my screen here is telling me the opening was 46.5, but it was at 47.5 for a good chunk of time.
The true number was 47.5.
Okay.
With a 7.5, so quick math there, 27-20. That was the quick math story. So did they give you 19.5 for Tennessee team total?
Either 19.5 or some spots, a lot of spots have 18.5 juiced way over.
Okay. And so technically right now, if they're cute, they give you Ohio State 26 and a hook.
Yep, same thing. Juice pretty heavily over. Yeah, I'm just looking at DraftKings 26.5 over for Ohio State minus 135 or the 27.5 minus 105. And so one way or another, you're getting one side pretty heavily juiced. Tennessee 19.5 at over minus 110. Over 18.5 is juice way over.
So again, Tennessee get to 20. Does Ohio State get to 27-28? My point here is check social media. Go to your podcast. Go to all the people you follow. Count on one hand how many people have the over here. Okay? The whole world's on the under here. So I'm not telling you to run to the window and go, damn it, Jeff, you told me to take the over, and the final score was Ohio State 28 and Tennessee 13. That's not my point here. My point is, I think both teams, there'll be a little feeling out process, but who's got the biggest chip on their shoulder right now? It's Ohio State. And maybe the real Ohio State team shows up. And if they do, I think that they easily cover the 7.5, 7, whatever, wherever you guys are shopping.
Right.
I think technically they might get their team to. I think they could make a statement today, win the fans back, and then I'll go on record right now. 338 of 1220. Okay. I'm going to go on record that the final score, Ohio State is going to start with a 3. 30, 31, 33. How's that one for you, Riley?
I like it. And I mean, you look at the odds to win the entire damn thing. They're still the third favorite right now, and that includes if they win this game, they got to go on a neutral site and play Oregon. So this is a team that could absolutely still win this whole thing and put that Michigan game in their rear view and played Oregon, one of the better games, more exciting games in the entire college football season earlier in the season. So Yeah, they are obviously missing that one top 15 NFL draft pick type offensive player, but they've got some guys. They've got some guys that can still get it done, and the sum of the parts is still really, really damn good. So going to that last game, Clemson and Texas, my friend, throwing that over for both of us here. Texas minus 12.5 with a 50.5 on the full game total. Some flat 12s in some spots now. But Clemson sneaking their way into the playoff on the last few couple games of the season. And Texas obviously sliding out of the top 4 after being in there for the majority of the year. Their only 2 losses all year long are Georgia. They had some nice wins that they proved it. Nice win towards the end of the season against Texas A&M. Are you a believer in Dabo, or is this the Texas train easy in this one tomorrow afternoon?
The point spread, yeah, I'm going to say the same thing that everyone else said. I didn't recreate this one. I just don't know how Clemson's going to score. I really don't. All the props to Dabo. Listen, they get 30-3 or 31-3 opening day against Georgia. They run off 5-6 in a row. They have a hiccup. Then they lose to South Carolina. Then all of a sudden they're in the championship game and they beat SMU. SMU almost came back. Speaking of coming back, Jacksonville State now 30-27, 3:35 left. So if you bought late on Ohio, you need a late scorer. Here comes backdoor little Joe. Wonder why I like team totals, guys. I don't have to worry about no damn backdoor being open. I can't stand the backdoor when that thing is open because these guys come out of nowhere. So, but again, I'm saying the same thing everyone else is. What is the Clemson team total?
Let's see. Their team total is 17.5, juiced over.
If Dabo gets to 20, God bless him, because I don't see how. I will give out right now here Clemson team total under 17.5. That would be my play in that game. And usually at a 17.5, if it was 16.5, then I would have really liked it because they're saying no, just they'll get to 17. 17.5, they're telling me they're going to get to 20 here. So I don't see how. I don't see Deshaun Watson. I don't see Trevor Lawrence. I don't see ETN. I don't see T. Higgins. I don't see any of those guys. Not that Clemson doesn't have star players.
All right.
But I just, not against this Texas defense. No, I don't see it. So Clemson team total under 17.5.
I'm with you, and I've seen a lot of people, and I know Quinn Ewers is not playing as well as we've seen him play in the past. But this Texas team is still really, really freaking good, and taking credit away from him, just losing to a really good Georgia team, and I'm not buying it. So I'm with you. I think we're going to see a whooping out of this game here, and Texas flexes their muscles a little bit. Another team that obviously played in the SEC championship game, but kind of been sitting in their shit a little bit from losing the SEC championship after being kind of the team to beat in the SEC all season long. So I am a big believer in Texas on this game here, and not only that, but going through a lot of this playoffs here. So we'll be seeing them in the Final Four, in my opinion, easily, if not the championship. So elsewhere, I believe Ohio State just got a big first down. Ohio got a big first down. Trying to ice this one out here. Not quite done yet, but we might see some drama out of that one. We got another bowl game this afternoon, my friend. Tulane in Florida. Tulane, we talked about earlier in the week. Actually, it's already underway. A lot of quarterback issues for Tulane on this one. Any love for the Green Wave, or is the quarterback issues gonna set him back a little too far on this one?
Opened up at a 9.5, now 10 at circa 9.5s and 10s all across, a 49.5 to a 50. This is supposed to be Florida early and often. They played great late. Billy Napier really rounded them into form since they changed their quarterback. They've been awesome. Tulane, again, a great season. Thanks for playing. Team totals here. 17.5 over for Tulane, 30 and a hook over 135. I don't like either. There is a 20 under for Tulane minus 125. I think Florida can name its score, and sometimes in this name the score, you get a lot of grab ass and a lot of scoring back and forth late. I don't have a real feel on this one. If I had to choose a side and guess, la 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 la. I would probably say the Green Wave at Heritage team total under 20 was where I would go there.
Fair enough, my friend. I know you had some NHL team totals and anything in the NHL as well.
Yeah, team totals tonight. Grab your pens. Not the greatest boards here. If you like Florida tonight, team total over 3.5. You have to lay 15 cents there. If you like Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, team total over 3.5, plus 110. Now the Sabres have lost 11 in a row. They were favorites last game against the Habs. They lost 6-1. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't been involved in a Sabre game, stay the bleep out. If and when they finally win a game and stop the streak, then you go back and grab them again. So again, Toronto team total over 3.5 is plus 110. Carolina Hurricanes team total over 3.5 plus 125. A nice number there tonight. Detroit team total over 3.5 plus 115 against Montreal. This is a big cherry on top. Probably won't get there, but this is pizza and beer money here. The Wild team total over 3.5 plus 140 against Utah. If you like Dallas tonight against the Rangers, team total over 3.5 even money. Rangers coming off a shutout. And teams coming off shutout, first period overs have been hitting at a 63-64% clip. First period over in that game, minus 115 at the circa, over 1.5 that is. Colorado, Anaheim, you got to lay a little juice here, but I think Colorado gets to 4 or better, and you can get them minus 130. Again, pizza and beer here. You're not running out to get someone a new iPad tonight because it's on their Christmas list, and then you lose your paycheck and you didn't pay the light bill.
It's it's as much of a Friday like you always talk about as there is with Christmas around the corner, my friend. Only 3 NBA games tonight, and we'll get out of here. Just check the injury news. You might have the return of Joel Embiid tonight. Line kind of suggests that you will see that. 13-point favorites, 8-16 76ers, 13-point favorites. That one was a little crazy. Have to imagine you're going to see Joel Embiid in that one, but obviously got to check the lineups. Milwaukee coming off of the NBA Cup victory in Cleveland tonight. Big dogs. Looks like no Damian Lillard. And the other one, OKC, short favorites at Miami. Miami playing real solid ball right now. Not sure what you're going to see from OKC after the NBA Cup a few days ago. Might lean towards on top of them coming off of that, and Miami, the way they're playing, might lean Miami as short home dogs in that one. But kind of a goofy night for the NBA with 2 of the games having the 2 teams that were involved in that NBA Cup championship in Vegas a couple days ago. So I'm going to kind of stay away from it, but wouldn't be surprised if you get a good night for Miami again here in this NBA slate here tonight.
I texted my buddy last night, and where the NBA is, TV ratings in some spots down 48%, by the way. Memphis 114, Golden State 61. Yeah, that's the Splash Brothers, or was the Splash Brothers, Steph Curry. Golden State catching 4.5. The whole world was on. With 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, Memphis 114, Golden State 61. That's one game. Second of all, Celtics and Bulls a combined 36 for 108 from 3. Let me just say that again. I don't care about the 36 made. 108 3-pointers taken in last night's Celtics Bulls game. I mean, is this like the YMCA beer league here? I mean, I don't want to get into an NBA rant here, but you wonder. Listen, guys, how long? We've been doing shows for 3-4 years, you and I. How many years has it been when I say start the season on Christmas Day, take the day over, the whole league plays, Play 60 games. The hell with the load management. Set it up where you play a game, you got 2 days off. You play a game, got 2 days off, and on Sunday you play. Just the load management, cut it to 60. Start on Christmas Day, and during the dog days of summer, you play your playoffs in the NBA championship into September when football just has started. Then you have October and November off. What a concept.
But that NBA Cup, that's really moving the needle, I imagine there. No, I'm with you, man. I am a massive NBA fan, but it is tough to watch at some points. And when you have, I mean, they have to do something. When you have so many stars, just whether it's be clear load management or, whether they have nagging injuries because they're playing back-to-backs, something has to change. And people aren't interested in these games when there's 82 games because the Sixers are 8-16, 13-point favorites tonight. You have to imagine if they get healthy, they're going to be fine in the end of it. You shouldn't be this bad for this, for the first 2 months of the season and whatever it is and still have that much of a chance to get out of that hole and be fine by the end of it. These games need to matter more because, I can remember 10 years ago when I was, college, we would just, on a random night, we would just watch random NBA games because it was good entertainment. Right now, that's not the case. And I got myself the package on YouTube TV, and I'm about to cancel it because I barely use it because it's so hard to watch sometimes, where these guys just aren't in it. So you and I are on the same page, man. Something's got to change. Shorten up the season a little bit. If back-to-backs are a reason why people aren't playing, then you got to do something to get rid of it because if anything's going to make a change, it's the ratings that you're talking about because that is as bad as it's been in a long time. And there's no, I've obviously had certain points in the last 10 years where you had certain narratives where there's some political stuff that have driven some of those narratives. That's not really the case right now. It's just a lack of interest and a lack of good product right now. And so if anything's going to change it's going to be that type of stuff. So I'm hopeful that something, I don't know, it would be shocking to see something just because leagues don't change that much. Shocking to see a drastic change the way you're talking, but that is a perfect solution for it, where you have such a big point in the calendar where people are going to tune in for the playoffs, especially even tenfold in those months where nothing else really is going on. So you and I are on the same page, my friend. We ended up going on a little bit of a rant there, but it's been a while since we've had one of these NBA rants, so I think we were due for one.
And it's funny because there's going to start, once you get to the new year, once you get to the All-Star break, the Tankapalooza for Cooper Flag, we know that's coming. And then you talked about a team like the Sixers, who, again, on paper are a lot better. We know that. Now that because of Embiid and some other stuff going on, he hasn't played 6 games, I think, all year. My point is they start to get healthy. They start playing well. They add another piece at the deadline. And next thing you know, you're going to have the Clevelands and the Celtics jockeying because they don't want to face the Sixers in the first round.
Right. And it's a problem. And these playing games to get the 9th and 10th teams involved, obviously those are games that are going to have high viewerships when it does come to that point, the playing games, as compared to, not having those games. But at the end of the day, I'm hopeful something happens because it is tough to watch right now, man. It is tough to watch. Even when the Bulls are pulling off a big upset, it doesn't help that my Bulls are in an ugly state of, not really finding their way out of the middle of the NBA. But nonetheless, you got big fan bases that aren't even interested in halfway decent teams these days right now.
Well, and last question in the NBA, the Celtics were the prohibitive favorite, still the favorite, even though Cleveland's got a couple game lead on them. OKC is, if the Celtics are plus 270 to win it all, OKC's like plus 340. Mm-hmm. Are you buying OKC at this point? Is it time to just buy and set it in the portfolio?
I think so. I do think so because I think you got a chance of some of these guys playing even better the next stretch of the season and looking even better and stepping up in the playoffs. They've gotten a little bit of the taste of the playoffs now, OKC, and so I think so because I think you've got good teams in the West. Don't get me wrong, but I think they are certainly the best team. Obviously, they are by record right now, but I think they on paper as well are the best team in the West. And so, you can see some chaos in the East coming up, and maybe they don't even, if they were to get to the finals, maybe they don't even have to see the Celtics. Maybe they don't have to see the Cavs. I don't know. So absolutely I'm buying the OKC Thunder. The two teams right behind them, Memphis and Houston, good teams, but I'm not buying them as far as a deep playoff run, at least as of right now, barring any big moves. So it's going to take a team that's kind of in the middle of the pack right now that has got some stars in my eyes to unseat OKC in the playoffs there. So yes, definitely buying the Thunder.
Closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. We talked about a lot of different things, so I'm excited for this weekend of action. No UFC or golf for a while, so we've got that little side stuff out of the way for a little bit. The overload takes a little bit of a break there, but I will be excited for that. We've talked about it the other day, but January, February golf is always exciting and always under the radar, underrated, and has some very, very good angles. And we might even be able to talk about the TGL. I'm always blanking on what the actual name is off the top of my head, but maybe we'll be talking about that indoor SoFi Golf League that these pros are participating in, and maybe have a little fun with that. So I'm excited for got to close out this year strong, obviously, with some big sporting events the next week and a half or so, but we'll be moving right into 2025 seamlessly and ready to rock and roll for another great year.
Well, the funny is this year, you and I, Riley, I'm going to take 3 swings with a buddy of mine in the Pat Mayo Cup. First prize, it's the one and dones, of course, and first prize $100,000. So we're going to take 3 swings at it. And Pat's, I've cashed in Pat Mayo Cup before. I've cashed in Rick Gaiman's before. So we're going to go all in on Pat Mayo this year. So we'll be talking your thoughts. Who would you choose for a one and done? And I'll give you my selections, of course, for the week. You pick one guy and you can't pick him again. So if you're a Scheffler fan and you think he's going to win the Masters and he does, you get that money for the win. And at the end of the year, you add up all your wins and cashes, and he pays out 1 to 400. I think there's about 4,000 entrants. So it's going to be a fun golf season.
I love it. That sounds good.
Everyone here, I talked about it on Andrew's show. I close Fridays on Andrew's channel. We always give out a promo code. We always try to bring new blood into the ECSI VIPs. I'm going to offer the same thing that I did there. Listen, if you go to eastcoastsportsinvestors.com and you take a look at the top right, plans and pricing, go scroll down. You're going to see $375 monthly retail for our selection sent to your cell phone via text and emailed. We've been doing it for 10 years. January 1st will be our 10th, start of our 10th year of public service. But what now we do is we offer a VIP service. It's our own gym membership for $3 a day. Go look in your couch right now. I bet you there's $3 and change there. $3 a day, $99 a month. Every one of these plays, futures, props, one and dones. 4-0 in the majors for the PGA last year, sent to you for $99 a month. But what I am going to do today is I have room for 3 people. Try to do is a long-term deal here for $299. $299. We're going to take you all the way through March Madness. So that's the rest of 2024, through the Super Bowl, through March Madness. And for the first 3 people, we're going to take you all the way through April, which will get you through March Madness. That will get you the Masters and the first month of baseball for $299. How do you do that? Very simply. You send me an email to eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Say, Mr. Dawson, I'm in. How do I sign up? Or go to Twitter, X at EC Sports Invest and send me a DM. I got room for 3 people. I had my accounting meeting this morning, and so he says, Jeff, we got room for 3. So 3 people, $299 through April, all sports, all everything. Ohio, 30-27 final. How did they do it? The closing over under 57, so that's a push. If you got Ohio -2 when it opened, you're a winner. If you got Ohio -6.5 at the closing bell, you're a loser. So how do they do it? It's Friday. It's Freaky Friday. Don't be the pizza guy. Supposed to head home. Head to the local Water and Hole Casino barbershop, wherever the man is, and then play the early games and tell the wife you're bringing pizza home, and then you get caught up in the late games, and the wife calls you at 10:30, hey, hon, where's the pizza? It's on the oven, and you get home at 11:30, and there's the pillow and the comforter, and you're on the couch. Don't be. It's the holiday season. Be grateful for what you have, not what you want or what you think you need. Get out of your comfort zone and help someone less fortunate. I promise you, you feel a lot better. From myself, Jeff Dawson at ET Sports Invest, from the one and only Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. We wish everyone a blessed day, a great, great weekend. Enjoy all the action. Stay in your lanes. Myself and Riley will be back Monday, 5 p.m. for a re-entry Monday. I'm going to give Riley Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Thursday off, and he'll be back on Friday, same time, same bat station. Love you guys. Have a great day. See you